Welcome to Agency Gen Marketing Office Hours. Today, my guests are on mute. I'm going to be walking through a tool that I use that I think you'll find really helpful when you're planning an ad campaign. Maybe that's for your nonprofit or for your for-profit business. Maybe you're launching an event, a special promotion. Maybe for a nonprofit, you got a grant to execute a multi-driven ad campaign. And this tool will help you ask some questions so that you can make the most of your money and the most of the campaign impact. So I'm going to walk through this tool with you. Okay, so this is called my ad campaign planner. So let's just walk through some of the questions and I'm going to talk through them. So what are you hoping to achieve with this campaign? And before just spontaneously answering, really take some time of what you want this campaign message to do. Is it brand awareness, just getting people aware of who you are and what you do? So just general information just to get some chatter going. Maybe you need to do some growth in sales. Maybe you need to sell something. Maybe you need to book appointments. What kind of appointments? What kind of service? What kind of product? Can you get very specific in what thing you're trying to grow? The more specific you can get, the more specific the messaging can get, and then the more specific the action you want the viewers to take. The same goes for enrollment and registrations. If you're asking them to enroll in a program, enroll in a school, register for an event, how can you be as specific as possible and define that as much as you can? Once you define what you're trying to achieve, then we can go into what message do you want to communicate. So let's go with sales. You're looking to sell a particular service. Let's say that it's a specific massage special. And so the message we want is the XYZ benefits and solutions to this particular massage service. And you can get more specific in that, right? I'm just going off the cuff here. And then we have to start defining who's in charge of this campaign to help it become successful, because there is no marketing trick that you can just set it and forget it and let everybody ignore it. You have to have someone hold some oversight to that. So if we're following the massage technique or the massage service, who's going to be the one in-house that's monitoring that promo code to be captured, the services, that service to be sold and tracking to the spike in sales? Is there someone in-house who's going to be doing organic social media in conjunction with the paid advertising? Is there a sales rep or a development rep who's going out and talking about this? Identify the people who are going to help with the marketing to make this work. Identify their roles and responsibilities as well. This all comes down to accountability. Who are you going to hold accountable to make your investment worth it? The next one is, what tools do you already have in place? So if we're going with selling a massage service, well, there's a booking link, there's a landing page, there's a client portal. What are all the things already in place? So, there might be a landing page, there might be a form to submit, a phone call to call, a scheduling tool. So to get as specific as possible of when you're putting this message out there, what tools need to be in place in order for that action to happen. Then what social media do you have in place in which we could utilize? Is just make sure that you don't forget things. So often, so many businesses start so many different things, so many different tools, and then they forget what they have. And so this is a really good time to kind of recheck the tools and investments that you already have that could make this ad campaign that much more fruitful. The same with email marketing. What tool are you going to use? What's your current database count? What's the current usage? Maybe you could even, if you use it frequently, things that you might want to track here is a trending open rate, a trending click-through rate, because then it would be your challenge and your competitive nature and accountability side to want to hit that number greater. This particularly comes in helpful, especially like Google Analytics and things. If you're working with a vendor and the vendor comes back and says, oh, these numbers are great. Well, how do you know they're great? Great compared to what? If you compare it to your previous traffic, is it great? Is it compared to another campaign that they ran? Well, what kind of campaign was it? I mean, really start to ask questions of what the numbers are great against. And if you keep track of your own data, then you'll have some more understanding and more insight as to what great is. After you've identified the who, what, where, when, now we have to talk about how. And so, how much money are you ready to invest in this specific ad campaign? So, this specific message that you just worked on in the left column, how much are you allocating to that program? And so, here's just a ballpark range. If you're not sure how to set a number for a particular campaign, try to work backwards. If you know you want to sell a particular service, let's call it service Y, and service Y costs $100. And maybe the goal is to sell 50 of those. So 50 times 100, and I'm not off the math, I know it's silly. So 100 times 50 is $5,000. So if you're going to sell 100 of these, or 50 of these at $100, and you're only going to make $5,000, do you really want to spend $10,000 to $25,000? So you may want to spend only 10% of that. And so maybe you're looking at $500. Well, that's not really going to get anything, right? So try to re-engineer backwards, try to get to a percentage of the projected revenue that this campaign is going to do, and then take a percentage of that projected revenue to create your ad campaign budget. Next, you want to set a time frame. How long is this special or this ad campaign going to go? Typically, campaigns run anywhere in these first two options here, 4 to 8 weeks, 1 to 2 months. 2 to 3 months is a little bit long, and 6 months are something specific. The chances are you're going to be in the 4 to 8 weeks. But this is great just to have your checks and balances of all the details of your ad campaign. Next, you're going to get into who are you trying to reach with this specific campaign? You'll often hear me say the right people, the right message, the right places. Well, we've just worked really hard along the left there to create the right message. We've already determined some of the right places, or at least that's what the ad budget is going to try to tell us. And now we're trying to figure out who the right people are. So who are you trying to reach with this particular campaign? Are you entering a new market? Are you trying to get in front of new people? Are you trying to re-engage past people? So get as specific as you can. And the items that are listed here are fields in which, if you're placing media, whether it's CTV, streaming video, digital ads, paid ads, social media, these are all some of the very common questions that they're going to use in order to really target this right kind of audience to place your ad in front of. This can get a lot more in depth, but these are typically the most common ones. Next, let's set some clear expectations. What would make this specific ad campaign a success to you? Oftentimes, if you say marketing doesn't work, chances are you didn't define what you wanted to do in the first place. So go ahead and select just one here of what would make this campaign a success. Really, if you fill out this worksheet and hand it off to your marketing coordinator, hand it off to the vendors that are helping you spend the money for the ad campaign, you're already going to be 10 steps ahead of the game and help them select the best tools and decisions and investment that's based off of all these things that you've just answered, and set your ad campaign up for the best success. And then there's another sheet here if you need to outline any kind of journey. Maybe it's from click to landing page to form to CRM to phone call. It's different scenarios. It depends what you're trying to do and what the goal of the campaign is. But this should get you on the ground, hit the ground running. All right, I'll see you in the next office hours.